Hello again and welcome to the American Rancher. I'm Justin McKee in for Pam Minnick. Along the Mexican border in Arizona, raising cattle seems next to impossible to the casual observer. With perpetual lack of rain and never-ending struggle for grass, southern Arizona appears to work overtime to keep ranchers from making a living. But that's where the Best family chose to stake their claim in the cattle business. And they've cracked the code in growing high market value calves using limited resources.
We have been in Arizona since 1996. My family was in eastern New Mexico. Amy's family was in the Texas Panhandle back in the late 1800s, and my family came to eastern New Mexico in 1941 from West Texas. And we have been ranchers and traders in the cattle business, horse business, anything to do with agriculture the whole time. It's in our blood and it's all we know how to do.
My brother and I, and my wife being an extension, and his fiance being an extension, would be the 5th generation in the cattle industry from the Best lineage. KT Cattle Inc. is a company my parents started for my brother and I to have in the long run. The K stands for Clancy, the T stands for Trey. KT Cattle Inc. is made up of 3 different locations. Our base is the Douglas Ranch. My brother has a place over by Arivaca, Arizona. It's cow-calf.
This ranch down here, I mean, sometimes there's spots where you wouldn't even think you're in Arizona. It's just so pretty. Big trees, beautiful mountains.
Last year, it was the worst drought that we've ever seen in Arizona history, I think. We depend on the rains for grasses and different stuff, but whenever we don't get grass, these cows have to learn how to browse a lot. And they'll have to get out and go to the top of the mountain and hunt that different type of feed, figure out what browse they can use to really get by.
This is one of the main nutrients we have here is wahia. The U of A's tested it, and at its prime it's 32% protein.
And then we have our northernmost operation is located to the east of Farmington, New Mexico. Keisha and I take care of it with the help of my cousin, and he's kind of our boots on the ground per se to help keep eyes on everything and help haul water when we have to. Extending the legacy of the family is not necessarily a walk in the park, but keep the legacy strong, and hopefully our children will feel the same way and want to supersede what we've done.
We have a son, he's 5, Hondo Best, and then JC, she just turned 3.
Raising grandkids on the ranch is the best thing that there is. They're a lot of fun, and they know how to do some stuff already. We raise AQHA quarter horses that in ranching environment. We start out with foundation mares and on them, but big bone, have good feet, and good using horses. They can do anything outside for the ranches, and they have the ability to go on and do whatever you want to after that, whether it's in the arena or go back to the ranching. We just recently got awarded the Ranching Heritage Breeder of the Year.
We try to raise our horses just like our cattle. They're raised in the elements, they're raised outside in the rough. We run our horses the mares are run just like a cow. And from day one, those baby colts know to watch out for the stickers and the cactus and how to get through the brush and the gullies and stuff. So whenever you do start riding them, you don't have to worry about them getting you in a jackpot because they don't know how to travel in rough country.
Cattle make good horses.
In Arizona, we're always in dry weather, so the horses, cattle have to understand and adapt to the droughty environment and learn how to survive with the forage we have, whether it be browse or grasses or whatever at the different times of year. You don't have to have a certain type of cow. If that cow is raised in that environment, you can have any kind of cow you want. she's raised there in that country, she will survive. But you have to make that cow where she does survive and knows how to get out and hustle. Our country's been dry. What's keeping us going is the mesquite beans. Mesquite beans are very high in protein, and those cows know how to survive on them. So they get you by until the grass does come. Our cows are not pampered in any way. I mean, we try to take care of them. We give them what they need, but they have to get out and hustle. We let the cows make us a living. We don't make a living for the cows. Our main herd, we put Gelbvieh bulls back on them. We raise our own Gelbvieh bulls out of our registered Gelbviehs, and we're able to sell those cattle anywhere we want to sell them. We sell them on Superior. We've been really pleased with that. They went all over, from California to Kansas, Nebraska, and repeat buyers. We've had people tell us before that they can't believe how our cows get out and survive and move around. And, you know, there's times there, you know, everybody says, oh, a cow won't go up over a 15% grade on a hill. Our cows will go plumb to the top of the mountain. And also they say a cow won't get a mile away from water. That's not right either. I mean, we've had cows that'll be 3 or 4 miles away from water, and maybe they just come to water every other day and still raise, you know, 550, 600 pound calf. And at the end of the day, that calf's what you're looking for, because that's what you're going to get to sell to pay your bills. We have to supplement whenever it gets dry and all you have is dormant grass. The Douglas Ranch has a Tobosa grass, and whenever it goes dormant, it's 2% protein. So there's nothing there. You want to make something that will make them go eat that grass, but you got to have something to turn it into something to digest. What I've noticed with the VitaFerm products, with the AmaFerm, whatever you have there for them, they will digest it correctly. And all in the same year, we went from having those cows where they were in terrible shape, their hair looked bad, they were thin, they didn't act right, to feeding the 3013 tubs and the Concept Aid mineral with the CTC at that time, because we had a problem with ticks. We didn't want a big problem with the anaplasmosis, so we started feeding the mineral and the 3013s. And we turned those cows around before the monsoon started that year. We had them where they were in good enough shape to breed.
After the break.
Our breed up would be somewhere between 80 and 85%. And when we start using Concept Aid, even on bad years, we can still get it up towards the mid-90s, year in and year out.
See how VitaFerm's Concept Aid with Heat Mineral is helping KT Cattle Company thrive in harsh conditions when the American Rancher continues. Welcome back to the American Rancher. As any rancher will tell you, cattle won't gain when cattle don't graze. High temperatures send most cattle to the shade, especially those with dark hides. But when shade is hard to find and grass is limited, hot temperatures can significantly decrease cattle's ability to make a living. But with the right mineral program, even cattle living in the unrelenting heat of southern Arizona can thrive.
Concept Aid mineral with heat has helped all 3 locations with continuation of grazing. Concept Aid with the heat works phenomenal. Our 3013 tubs alongside that makes everything work in unison and makes it where we can conserve our grasses and our forage to an extent where we will have some later on that most people will not have, because they used all the energy of that forage and all that grass up front and didn't have anything to back it up.
I've been on this ranch for 11 years, helping the guy that owned it before manage it. And then we had figured out to go ahead and buy it last year. And we've got it done where we finally got it all closed and bought it this year. Going into this thing with a really bad drought, then he had never used any mineral or done anything like that for the cows. And I'm a big believer in the VitaFerm mineral. We started feeding the VitaFerm Concept Aid last year before I took ownership of the ranch, And that helped us even going into last fall, and that's what made these cows excel for this year and looking into our next year. And you can see the conditions of these cows. A lot of this country didn't get half an inch of rain last year. And these cows, with giving them the mineral and everything, it's really helped me hold them together. And with the mineral and everything in conjunction, it's definitely working. Just as soon as that calf's 21 days old, these cows are getting bred on that first heat cycle. So that mineral is really, it's changed the whole dynamics of this ranch.
Before we use a Concept-Aid, our breed up would be in the 80s, somewhere between 80 and 85%. And when we start using Concept-Aid, even on bad years, then we can still get it up towards the mid-90s. And you got to understand, a lot of these cows that we have are sale barn cows, and people don't think that it's possible, but you can take a sale barn cow and have her on the right nutrition, and that cow will breed back just like a cow that's been raised on that ranch. And I'm talking about all of our cows. We get a 92 to 95% every year in and year out. And the same program, just nothing changed besides feeding them the Concept-Aid. We use a Concept-Aid with the heat. In the summertime, we're using it with the Clarifly also. And as you can see on our cows, there's no flies. And when they're stomping trying to get away from flies, it takes energy away. So it takes more nutrition to keep them up and going. So that also helps. The cows are milking well, and there again, the mineral has something to do with that, with the Concept-Aid, but keeping the flies off of them has a lot to do with that, because I'm a firm believer, before we started using the Clarifly, we would ear tag those cows and fly tag them to keep all that stuff off. And now, since we're feeding the heat with the Clarifly, we don't have to worry about tagging them. As we all know, if a cow's got black hide, they're hot in the summertime. And if it gets 100 degrees, then they're hot. With the heat in there, it'll make those cows keep grazing and not stand under a tree during the heat of the day. They'll stay out grazing and making a living. And, you know, the more you can get them to graze, the more they milk, the more yearling gains, whatever. I mean, grazing is what it's all about. And as long as you've got forage and have something for them to graze on, if you can have them out grazing, then you're gaining. A ranch cow does not have to be roly-poly fat. They need to be in good shape. If a cow's raising a calf like our cows do and will breed back, what more do you need?
VitaFerm in general maximizes productivity, which therefore maximizes rate of gain and the amount of gain you receive. Therefore, weaning a calf that would typically be on a piece of country that you'd wean a calf that weighed 450 pounds, for example, you would end up weaning a calf that weighs 650 to 7. That right there in itself pays for the mineral, or even the tubs, through and through every time.
We're able to get more cows bred, so that means more calves to sell, and it also means more weight anytime we sell. So that part has made it easier. If you have a set of cows that breeds back 10% better than what they would have without it, then it's a no-brainer to me to see that the mineral pays for itself. And that's not counting the extra gain you get out of your calves or out of your yearlings or whatever. I mean, you can see it in their eyes, in their coat of their hair, everything. They're healthier in general.
You can go any region. I suggest test your soil, test your forage, send it off, figure out what you need, and let VitaFerm, let Biozyme do the rest of the work and figure it out for you.
Our calves are on these products from the day they're born. I mean, they can either have the mineral, the tubs. Once they're weaned, they're on the VitaFerm drench with the VitaCharge technology.
The VitaFerm line of products that we use on a daily basis gives us a fighting chance to pass on what we know to the next generation without having to worry about, financial hardship. And it gives us just that leg up that a guy needs to try to prosper the best of your ability and know that you have tried everything that you can do throughout that year to raise the best set of calves that you've got, regardless of the breed. Market them, sell them, pass it on down the line to the next generation, let them do the same thing and hope that they use the knowledge that you gained.
Up next.
Conceptate from Biozyme helps the animal cool themselves off. It keeps them out grazing and out of the ponds.
Get a closer look on how VitaFerm's Conceptate with Heat Mineral works so well on ranches in harsh southern climates. You're watching The American Rancher. Stay with us. Welcome back to The American Rancher. For years, VitaFerm Conceptate with Heat Mineral has helped ranches large and small to improve cow-calf performance and boost revenues. You've seen how it works in the harsh conditions of southern Arizona. Now's the time to see how it works on your operation.
At Biozyme, we believe in care that comes full circle for every animal. That is why we want to help you. If you want to maximize the energy and forage utilization in your livestock to support successful production, and if you want more calves on the ground, Conceptate can absolutely help. Feeding VitaFerm Mineral means effective, easy breeding, giving you performance that pays.
KT Cattle's motto is raising diamonds in the rocks, and as you can tell, we're in Arizona and we've seen a lot of rocks. Well, our diamond in the rough that makes our products what they are is AmeriFerm. It's our research proven, fed through microbial. It's a prebiotic. So when you buy a bag of mineral or a tub or any of our products, you get two things in one bag. You get the AmeriFerm Advantage. AmeriFerm improves the digestibility and absorption rate of nutrients and allows the animal to take what you feed them and actually use it to the animal's advantage to be a higher performing, more efficient animal that brings back more dollars to the bottom line of an operation. AmeriFerm increases NDF digestibility by 17%. It also improves protein digestibility by 10%. Some of the other things that it brings to the table is the increase in microbial protein production, which is 80% usable to the animal. We increase volatile fatty acid production by 16%, which is energy to that animal. That's the difference maker when you feed Conceptate from Biozyme. One of the things that makes Conceptate so unique is the formulation. It has an extremely high level of vitamin E at 800 IUs. Vitamin E has been shown to not only help that animal's reproductive tract repair itself so they can breed back quicker, but we also know that it has an effect on helping that cow clean after giving birth, and we also know that it has a profound effect on clinical mastitis. The heat technology that is made available in our products simply works as a vasodilator that helps the animal cool themselves off. It keeps them out grazing and out of the ponds.
In addition to all the benefits that VitaFerm Conceptate brings you, it is absolutely an integral part of the value-added nutrition program that we have with Superior. This is a two-part program where we have VitaFerm Raised and the Gain Smart program. The VitaFerm Raised program specifically designed for those cow-calf producers that are marketing their calves on the side of the cows. Not only is it one of their main goals to have more cattle to offer, but it's vitally important that they gain those efficient pounds on those calves so that they have more pounds of cattle to offer when they do go to market. The Gain Smart portion of the value-added nutrition program is designed specifically for the stocker yearling producer. Now, we all know that it's vitally important for these producers to keep these cattle healthy and gaining during this portion of their life. But with the addition of AmeriFerm, not only is Gain Smart bringing you the nutritional requirements that you need from a vitamin and mineral standpoint, but with that AmeriFerm added to it, you're going to see an additional quarter of a pound a day gain on these cattle, which absolutely means more money in your pocket. For some of you that may not be quite as familiar with Superior and the value-added nutrition program, you may be asking, what does this mean? And it absolutely tells a story about the cattle, not only for the producers, but as well for the buyers. When you see these logos on the screen when these cattle are being marketed at Superior Livestock, it basically tells you that these cattle are nutritionally sound and have been on a solid nutrition program provided by Biozyme through the VitaFerm or Gain Smart brands.
So if you're struggling to find a way to make sure that your cows are utilizing the forage they have available, you're needing to keep your cows in better body condition score, and you want to get your cows bred back on the first cycle, please go to our website and contact your local dealer or find one of the local representatives that covers your area. We'd be glad to assist you.
To learn more about the benefits of VitaFerm Conceptaid and to find a dealer near you, log on to VitaFerm.com or call the number on your screen. Well, that's it for today. To learn more about us, log on to theamericanrancher.com and connect with us on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Justin McKee. For Pam Minnick and the entire American Rancher team, thanks for joining in. We'll see you next time.